Going on, everyone? It's Brain with Jacoji Fine Jewelry, Shore Personal Jeweler. In this video, I want to review these popular rope chains, the 4mm versus the 5mm. These size rope chains in general are so popular, it's crazy. Crazier than a brown wall and Brain's brown crew neck. So, in this video, we're going to compare side by side, show some pendants, show some lengths, hopefully give you guys a better idea because a lot of people want these specific sizes of 4mm, 5mm. With that being said, let's get started. I'm not joking with you guys how popular the 4mm rope chain is and the 5mm rope chain. So I'm excited, so excited. I'm standing up doing this video today, full of energy to review these two chains. Side by side, we have the 4mm on the left and the 5mm on the right. And I'm just deflated saying this because I say this in every video, but it's the most factual thing I could say besides Shop Jacoji in these videos. They look bigger on camera, so I have to show you guys the side by sides. Every millimeter or every size you go up makes a huge difference. This is why I'm spending my time doing this video, to make this point across and to just keep reinforcing this statement or this fact. If you go up a little bit, it's worth it if that's what you're looking to do. And I'm going to get to that towards the end or in the next clip about the difference between a 4mm look and a 5mm look with these specific chains. So you see a difference there. When I zoom in, you start really seeing that difference. I'm telling you guys, I work with these chains. A lot of people watch these chains, have these chains, they have experience with these size chains and will vouch for this fact. It makes a big difference when you go up if you see the side by side there. Now, let's take a look at these on the neck. The first one I have is what I'm wearing in this exact video, a 4mm 22" around my neck. This is the most popular length for the 4mm rope. And in general, guys, the most popular length overall. If most people are like, what length should I go with? I just say 22". It's an automated response because that's what a lot of people do, and it works. And I am here to vouch. My first chain was a 22" 5.5 flat curve, and I love it. That is the chain of choice for a solitaire style chain. We have the 4mm 22" around the neck. Now, the 4mm works, number one, because the gram weight, which equals price on Jacoji.com. And it's for the hesitant buyer. Me personally, great starter chain if you could do so. It's a lot to ask someone just 30 grams or whatever the price is to just ball out and buy their first chain. Most people have to work their way up. But if you're comfortable, if you go into a 4mm rope chain, great, because a lot of people, they're in a professional setting, they're working out, they're doing different things, and they're really reluctant to say, hey, this chain might be too big. That is where the 4mm rope is just excels and why it is one of the most popular chains, because people are comfortable with that subtle size, but it still stands out. I am a bigger guy. I wore my crew neck and everything in this video just to give you guys a realistic representation of kind of the everyday look, because this is what I'm wearing today and I want you guys to see how it looks. So the 4mm, the strong suit if you're comparing the two, and if you're hesitant or reluctant to go with a 5mm because you feel like you can't sleep with it, you're going to feel you're going to wear it and people are going to laugh at you and be like, hey, is that a gold chain? Is it real? And you're just insecure. The 4mm is reassuring because it is not overpowering. It's very subtle, but yet you see it because it's a rope chain, the diamond cuts, it stands out relatively speaking. Let's see the 5mm on the neck, and I actually switched chains. I now have the 5mm 22" rope around my neck, and in the B-rolls, we have the 5mm 22" rope. Because I'm a bigger guy, the 5mm looks more subtle on me. This is what I would personally choose if I could afford it at the time, to go with a 5mm, because it is still subtle. I don't feel it's overpowering, and I have to explain that to you guys. So it is preference. If you want the 4mm and you're not big brain over here, then that'll work for you. But if you're a bigger guy like me, then the 5mm might work because you're pretty much getting the same look overall. You kind of have to go up a little bit to fit your body type, and that is a preference thing. A lot of people ask me, what should I go with? It's really preference, and you have to be comfortable with that. I'm telling you right now, bigger guy, go with a slightly thicker chain to kind of keep up with your body type. The 5mm also, a lot of people, you might not be a big guy, but you want kind of a chain that'll last you a long time. You want to invest in something and kind of make one purchase. The 5mm works as well. I tucked it in on the B-roll so you guys could see. A lot of people just want to tuck their chain in from their 9 to 5 and not worry about it. You could easily do that. It's not going to show too much. You're not going to have like the chain showing under your shirt at all. It's a good size to wear. It's still subtle, but if you want to go up a little bit in the gram weight, it is worth it. Trust me, with the whole thing of these chains look bigger on camera on the B-rolls, going up with that 5mm works. Both at the end of the day, you could easily wear them 24/7, work out, do whatever, live your active lifestyle. You could be a doctor, you could be a lawyer, you could be a circus clown. It doesn't matter. You could wear it all the time, and it's not going to stand out. It's not going to bother you. It's not going to draw too much attention. Also on neck, I want to show you guys the difference. I have the 4mm rope at 20 inches versus the 5mm rope at 22 inches visually, so you could see kind of the difference if you're looking at them. This is the best shot pretty much overall if you're trying to compare the two. In the hand works, but it's hard to like know how big my hands are, how big my ring is, relatively speaking. So if you could see a neck shot that shows the width difference, and you could see what I'm talking about, there's a little bit of difference there between the 4mm and the 5mm. So 20, 22 inch, very popular lengths, and the 4 and 5mm comparison. Rope chains are perfect for pairing with pendants, especially these size. Relatively speaking, you want to kind of keep that gram weight relative to the chain so there's no damage. But rounded style chains like the Rope, Franco, Heavy Link, Jacoje Link are perfect. I have the 5mm rope paired with the large crucifix. Overall, large size, and you go on Jacoje.com and see the specs, the length, if you're shopping for a different pendant elsewhere, just kind of keep it within this realm. We have the large crucifix. Next, we have the 5mm rope with the large angel. This is a really nice look. And last but not least, the 5mm rope chain with a large lion pendant. Again, all these are around the same specs, gram weights plus or minus. The large crucifix a little bit longer, just some good references. I like to try to show you guys different stuff so you can see comparisons and give you a better idea. With the 4mm rope, I paired it with the standard Jesus piece, and this is more subtle look. And for me, because I'm a bigger guy, it looks more like a 2.5mm rope and a mini Jesus piece because of that. But if you're looking for a subtle look, again, this is the look or the pairing that you're probably going to want to go with. Doesn't have to be a Jesus piece. And I also paired the 4mm rope with the standard crucifix. So ideally standard size for most pendants with a 4mm rope, and then if you go 5mm, you go with a larger size. I also want to show these pairings on neck. I got the 5mm rope 22 inch with the large lion, and this is a good look right here, so you can kind of see it on the neck how it's gonna look. It definitely, and this is my whole case in point, the 5mm rope with the large line kind of looks now like a 4mm with a standard line because it's on my neck. It's not directly in my hand with the camera right there. This is what I'm talking about, guys. I've said a million times in this video and a million times on Jacoje YouTube videos, but bigger on camera. This kind of puts it in perspective. That's why I like to give both shots for you guys. Now it looks a little bit smaller than it did in my hand. And then we also have the 4mm rope 20 inch with the standard Jesus piece. I personally like 20-inch pendants because I like it a little up top. The 22-inch is longer for me. The problem with that is, like I said, everybody loves 22-inch chains for solitaire. Then you add a 20-inch chain and a pendant, now you're overlapping, and I have to make a video because I'm running into this same issue with my personal setup, so we got to get it on video and talk about, debate it, and see the look overall because everybody runs into that issue. And then the good thing about chains and buying and stacking and your setups is this look right here, which I think is classic. We have a 4mm rope 20-inch paired with that 5mm rope 22-inch and a large lion. So we have that set up there. This is a perfect stack if you ask me. Got the double ropes, got the classic line that is the best line money can buy. Good overall setup here. So you could mix and match. If you go 4mm and be like, it's 6 months later, think, hey, I should have went bigger. You could add the 5mm, add the pendant, whatever you want to do. In my opinion, guys, the 4 versus 5mm really depends on how you're starting out, your preference. Like I said, always recommend going up. The 5mm has really picked up steam over the last 6 to 8 months because of this, and I've taken more time to review and show you guys exactly how it is realistically. So either choice is good. If you really just want that subtle look, try the 4mm. A lot of people do. There's your reassurance. And then if you want to go something slightly thicker, the 5mm works perfect. All available on Jacoje.com. Thank you guys for watching. That's it for today's video, and we'll see you on our next jewelry video.